1075 The Game Podcasting is sponsored by Modern Exterminating, a family-oriented company. Professional, honest, and dependable pest control solutions. We're your one-stop shop for all pests.
The Southeastern Conference and Big Ten Conference today coming out not necessarily in complete opposition to the Protect College Sports Act, but certainly letting everybody know that as things stand, they don't like it. They released the following statement this morning, quote, "The Big Ten Conference and the Southeastern Conference support a sustainable national framework for college sports, one with an effective transfer portal, clear eligibility standards, and protections and benefits for student athletes. While we appreciate the leadership of Senators Cruz and Cantwell in pursuing these shared goals, we do not support the Protect College Sports Act as drafted. The bill leaves critical issues unresolved," says the statement. "It does not meaningfully preempt the patchwork of state laws or provides protections needed to make and enforce consistent rules, both essential to long-term stability in college athletics."
Can I just decipher that really quick?
Well, hold on. Let me finish the statement. It also shifts ongoing rulemaking to Congress, limiting the ability to adapt quickly as the landscape evolves. Rather than reducing litigation, the bill likely expands it without offering clear alternatives for dispute resolution. Finally, the bill alters the House settlement revenue sharing framework in a way that may result in fewer student athletes receiving direct revenue share payments. We are committed to working with Senators Cruz and Cantwell and other members of Congress to improve this legislation so that it can provide lasting stability for college athletics. All right, now you can translate.
Let's translate that really quick.
Okay.
This bill screws with us, the Big Ten and the SEC, so we really want no part of this.
Amen.
That's really what it is.
Yeah.
I mean,
now I saw, and I threw a tweet out about this. Darren Heitner, who's one of the great labor attorneys that's been working against the NCAA and working for and representing some high-profile athletes of late, said that this was all about the television rights and the pooling of rights. I threw out not that I'm disagreeing directly, but I don't believe that's what it is, Terry. It is, to your point, though, it is about them. But to me, the TV rights thing, look, that was voluntary anyway. And we knew going in, once we saw that was part of this, we knew going in that the SEC and the Big Ten were not going to support that. So that could be part of this. But what's even more important here and has been less talked about is this bill precludes the formation of a super league.
right, and that's where I was going to go, the Super League issue.
And I get why people don't want that, but the SEC and the Big Ten are looking at Congress going, you can't just tell us what to do. If we want to grow, we're going to grow.
You know what's interesting? We want you to tell players what to do.
Yeah, but
don't tell us what to do.
And Andy Staples even put something out similar that said, you didn't write this bill the way our lobbyists told you we wanted it written. And I thought, that's funny, because that's probably accurate. Maybe, and I'm kind of not kidding, maybe you ought to be, I mean, who'd you hire in the lobby? Maybe it's time to go after some even more influential lobbyists. But no, so I'm not at all surprised that by this. It was simply a matter of when these two conferences put something out together. And despite the fact that right now they can't agree on the college football playoff format, and I know some people are like, I can't believe they're coming together on this. They hate each other. They really don't.
They don't hate each other. This is purely business.
Yeah, and look, they're going to get to either 16 or 24 in the CFP, and they're both going to make a ton of money.
Yes.
And they don't want you messing with their money and their influence because they've worked hard. Now, this is me paraphrasing how they feel. We've worked hard to get here, and now you just want us to give a bunch of it away.
Yeah, you want us to give up our hard-earned advantage.
Now, some people say, yes, we do, because it's for the good of the sport.
The gold standard of sports is the NFL. And they truly got everybody to buy in. Mm-hmm. What's good for the greater good is going to be good for you, right? But it's worked both ways.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to have others go with that when your advantage is your advantage. And it's like anything. All right, if you work hard, right, and you have an advantage over others, if someone says to you, hey, AJ, you know you busted your hump for this? but we need you to look out for everybody else now.
We need you to keep doing exactly what you're doing.
And get less.
But get less for it.
For the greater good.
Thanks.
Now, again, you can be Gandhi.
Sure.
Or you can go, screw you. What are you talking about? So, again, it's easy to say what the SEC and Big Ten should do because what they're doing is not for the greater good of all. It's for themselves.
Yeah. But that's 34 schools.
Yeah, so at the end...
It's for the greater good of...
And again, who does Petitti and Sankey work for?
Yeah, they work for their conferences and
who
their presidents.
Who signs the check?
Yes. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Nick Saban was also at today's hearing in Washington, D.C., and he said in his opening statement, quote, Congress does not need to micromanage college athletics. Congress does need to fix the mess in the courts and create a national framework so the people inside college sports can enforce fair rules. Without that legal certainty, every rule becomes another lawsuit, every standard becomes another risk, and the system keeps drifting toward a professional model. He said a lot of other things, did Coach Saban, and I don't look, again, in theory, he's not wrong. The problem, and this, I think, goes somewhat counter, Terry, to the statement, I'm talking about what Nick Saban said, to the statement that the Big Ten and SEC put out. This only creates more litigation. There are certain things in here as written that once you try to enforce it, someone's going to sue you over it because it wasn't collectively bargained. and it just keeps coming back to that.
Because, again, that's the logical way to do this. You know what? Everybody agrees on something. Whether they love it 100% or not, they all agree, right? And then the agreement is a binding document.
Yeah. Well, for instance, people ask about transfers. And the reason that right now open-ended transfers are happening is very simple. There are a lot of rules in the NCAA that say if something is not available to the general student population, then you can't do it as a member institution from an athletic standpoint.
Right.
Okay. If a kid wants to transfer every semester to another college in this country, a regular student, he or she can do so.
Yep.
So then you have to tell a football player, a basketball player, a hockey player, a baseball player why they can't. Well, because you're an athlete. Well, what if I was a musician? Or what if I was just a medical student?
Right.
Or political science major? Are you telling me that because if you're in political science, you can only transfer once without penalty?
Right. No one's ever said that.
You have to sit out. You have to sit out a year of study.
To go to
no. So that's why, because you can't restrict people. I know you want to, and I want to as well. I want rules, but you have to collectively bargain these things, or at least you have to put some kind of framework out there that these young people know in advance they've signed up for.
It's like anything. You can't tell me what to do. I'm an adult.
Yeah.
You can't limit my earning power. You can't tell me where I can move to, what school I can go to. Or,
again, telling a coach you can't leave until your season's over. Well, I'm a professional. This is my job. If I want to leave my job and go to another job that's been offered, then I'm going to leave and go to another job.
Yes.
It's just somebody's going to sue you.
It's very simple.
So, anyway, but and Nick Saban said some other things. He said it should be nonpartisan. He says it's important in terms of college athletics, in terms of the future of young people. He's right. He's right. But we got to go farther than this, and there are things that Congress simply cannot do.